This is exactly how my setter makes me $10,000 every month, with examples. There are 3 levels to this. Most people are stuck at the level 1 forever, this level where people are only teaching and not showing. So these are the talkers. Tweet about agents, watch tutorials, never sold one, never used anything in the production. You probably seen these YouTubers. This is where the majority of the market is sitting. So these are the people who are teaching you stuff. Now, the second level are the builders. So they have a real knowledge. They build setters or any sort of the automation workflows for businesses. So they get paid to ship them. So they have a real agency, and these are the legit guys. But there is a level 3, the ones who are using it themselves and also sell it. So see, they do both. They teach people or show it on the YouTube on how they ship it to the clients, how they deliver the results to their clients, and they also use it themselves for their own business. And this is where we are at, because our setter brings clients to us every month. So we call it a self-selling setter, because it is a setter that is selling more setters to our clients. So here's how the pipeline looks: attention, engagement, and the conversion. We in our agency use different channels to bring strangers in, to bring the traffic, which is the top of the funnel. I'm going to discuss it. Then we have the engagement. So the setter hits them within a few minutes, usually hours. I'm going to explain WhatsApp, text, phone, and email. And then there is a conversion. Again, now it depends on what type of the funnel. The conversion could be a webinar show up. This could be a phone show up. This could be a completion of some sort of a lead magnet. Now, the top 5 funnels, the top 5 traffic sources on the top of the funnels that we're using is the paid ads to the webinars, not to the booking, not to the VSL, then cold emails, newsletter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So these are basically the organic sources. These are the paid. Now, in terms of the cold emails, we are primarily sending emails to the personal emails with the lead magnets. I'm not going to be discussing it here, but we also send a video invitations to our webinars alongside the paid ads. Now, this is not a video about the top of the funnel, but what you need to realize is that we use within our own agency the different top of the funnel strategies. So when there is a webinar, the opt-in is the sign up with your email. We'll send you the link and remind you. Cold email, personalized video, let's say sent, you book a call straight to my calendar, or if it's a personalized video as an invitation to the webinar, you sign up to the webinar. Newsletter, I do it once or twice per week. Hey, subscribe and you're in the funnel. LinkedIn, lead magnets, waitlist, and direct to call bookings. And YouTube, obviously, like open source waitlist repo. By the way, it is open source. You can check the link in the description. So look, what I'm saying is there are different traffic sources that we are using. Now, the setter, here is a mistake. It's actually not hitting people within the minutes, but rather the actual hours. Jesus. Meaning, we are setting it in a way where the text and the phone call is received usually within 1 to 3 hours after the opt-in. And again, opt-in can be different for the webinar, through the cold email, newsletter, or organic. So people are receiving a WhatsApp text message, the actual text message. We are splitting the text and the iMessage when we're targeting specifically the US-based market, as well as we are making the phone call. Again, so it's not 5 minutes, it's actually 1 to 3 hours. Now, here is the example. I'm going to show you the real conversation so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But whenever our setter sends a text to a lead, we always fake that it is me, it is Eugene, because most of our advertising comes from a brand of Eugene Kadzin. So people opting in, they recognize me, even though it's a paid traffic. Still, usually we are doing the webinar, and then to the invite to the webinar, we're having a longer video creatives. So they're kind of aware of who Eugene is usually. So we're saying like, hey, this is Eugene, you opted in, so let me ask you a few questions. And I can tell you that for the text, 9 out of 10 people do not recognize that it is not me. Let me give you an example. So this is our operating system for the setter. By the way, it is open source. Again, you can check the link in the description. If you don't want to do it yourself, if you want to just white label, license, and resell this solution to your clients, you can just book a call with me and we're going to discuss. So if I filter here through, I've prepared a few setters. Let me actually reload like setters with an examples that you can see on how the conversation actually goes. Let me reload the page and do the here. Okay, so like here we have a conversation now. Everything is blurred because I have enabled the creator mode. Now, if we go to the top, you can see that this is the conversation that has happened with the lead. And I want to specifically point you to one message that he sent. You can pause and you can read this thing. He's saying, okay, well, it's free. Okay, like here we're explaining the business model. And he says, this is what I was expecting this level of AI appointment setter. Because here we call our setter Gino. So the Gino, after talking, so obviously the client thinks that this is me talking. So they're talking, and then Gino is programmed in a way where at the end of the conversation, he says, oh, by the way, not sure if you noticed, but I'm not the actual Eugene, I'm just a stupid bot. Oh, and this is basically a reconfirmation that the user is like, this is what he expects. And this is why it is much easier to close this person, because he experienced our setter himself, because we're selling him a setter for either him to sell to his clients or use within his business. So this is why it's self-selling, because it's like, it's essentially showing what it can do live. But this is for the text. Now, for the voice, it is a bit different, because now we're flipping. If on the text 9 out of 10 people think that they are talking to me, to Eugene, for the voice, realistically 9 out of 10 people know that it's a human. It's not a human, it's a bot. Now, one might not notice, especially if it's an older audience, or if the person is very busy talking and just like, especially like for the first 30 seconds to 60 seconds. But this is not the point. We are always planning of the lead who we're calling, recognizing that it is an AI. And I have no problems with that, because this is the whole point. We need to show what our voice setter can also do. So here's what we can do. This is the conversation that I have specifically tagged, and you can see that this, lead was booked in the calendar by the voice setter. So if we open the details of this call, let me play you the recording so you can hear how it is doing the thing. Now, I'm going to put it on the 1.5x so that it's faster.
Hey, is this Nicholas?
Who's this?
Hey, it's Gino from One Prompt. Eugene asked me to reach out because I saw you just joined our school community. Got a quick sec to chat?
What number did you call on?
I called you on your +66 957 814 211 number. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah, okay. So I think I'm paying too much to have this conversation on this number. So I would rather just have our conversation on WhatsApp if possible.
Totally get it. International calls can be a killer. I can definitely have Eugene or someone from the team message you on WhatsApp instead. Before I let you go, are you planning to use the setter for your own business or for an agency setup?
Yeah. Both, but I already said that in the...
I see you're already
Let's
on
skip
questions
that.
before that call. An 8N on a scale of...
I would say...
Got it. At a 4, the open source managed side on Tuesday, we basically act as your back-end team, so you don't have...
Yeah, I'm very curious about that part, but let's end the call now and then just know what we talked about for Eugene. And yeah, let's do the rest over WhatsApp back and forth.
Yeah, so as you can see, that was a very, very fluent conversation. Of course, this person knows that it is not a human, but he doesn't care, because he is going to be using this setter for his own clients and for his own business. So he wants to know how it is actually working. Now, he didn't respond on the WhatsApp, so there were no conversation, but we would see it here. But I already showed you how the conversation looks with the tag setter. So you can see that we are using it for ourselves to actually set appointments and pre-sell before the actual sales call. Now, we have usually 3 different setters with 3 different goals. We have a webinar setter, hype up people to get verbal yes, I'll show, and remind them about the webinar so people sign up for the webby. Then setter engages. We obviously don't want to set appointments with them. We just want to engage, get them hyped up, and get the verbal agreement, because this does increase the show up rate by 15 to 20%. Then if it's a booking, so let's say someone books a call either after the webinar or directly through a booking page on my website, then the setter pre-qualify before the call. The call is the live demo, so it's basically it's doing the live demo so that I don't get the objections like, oh, like, sure, I'm like, I like it, but before, committing, I want to see the actual demo. And we can say like, bro, like you already had a conversation with our text through text and the voice. So that was the demo. If you want it, let's get you closed. And the third one is the lead magnet setter that sends the lead magnet re-engage, later answer questions, and ascend them to a higher ticket offers. Now, in terms of the numbers I already said, I mean, I'm using the $10,000 as a recurring every month, which is realistically a very random number, right? Because it's not directly the sales that are attributed to the setter, but we have a very high closing rate because of the live demo that people are experiencing. And this is what I call the level 3. We're not just selling it to the businesses, but we also use it for ourselves to sell more of the things that we sell to companies. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.